My love, this morning when I left for work, I told you that today I wanted to eat the food you cooked yourself. I'm tired of eating the food of the employees of the house. You are my wife, but I live like a single man. You never have time for me, even less to please me. All you care about is spending millions of naira for your trips, shopping, and other outings with your friends. I can't stand this life anymore, and I tell you sincerely. You must change your behavior, because it can't continue like this. Precilia was shocked to listen to her husband Daniel yelling at her like that. Because it was the first time in 3 years of marriage that her husband was angry with her to this point. She wondered if something had escaped her. Because she was used to her husband Daniel tolerating her bad behavior and all her whims of a pretentious and materialistic woman. Indeed, Mr. Daniel, a young 32-year-old billionaire who made his fortune in the food industry and who owns more than 40 food stores located in several major cities in Nigeria and Ghana. Daniel had everything to be happy, but his wife Precilia was far from making him happy. Because she had married Daniel just for his money, in order to live in incredible luxury. As she had always dreamed, growing up in one of the most precarious neighborhoods of Lagos, where she put in place foolproof plans to meet and marry a very rich man. Daniel, for his part, was eager to get married, since he had a lot of money. A large villa, in which he lived only with his employees. He found his life boring and monotonous. This is why he decided to marry Precilia, just 2 months after meeting her in a nightclub. Without even taking the time to get to know her, despite his friends warning him. But 3 years later, Daniel was really starting to question his choice of Precilia as his wife. Months passed and Precilia still didn't change her bad behavior. She didn't take care of her husband Daniel, and she never spent quality time with him. Daniel was getting depressed day by day. One day, like every time, he didn't want to eat the food cooked by the housekeepers. He ordered food. That afternoon, Daniel ordered a pizza, and it was delivered by a beautiful young woman. "Thank you, miss. It's surprising to see you deliver it to me, because every time I order food, it's men who deliver it to me. So I didn't expect to see a woman as beautiful as you deliver this pizza to me, which I imagine will be particularly delicious." "Thank you for the compliment, mister," replied the delivery woman, smiling. "What is your beautiful name?" "My name is Kristine." "I was sure your name was as beautiful as your face. If I wasn't married, I would invite you to eat this pizza with me. My beautiful Kristine." "My God, mister, you are married. And you are talking to me like that? What if your wife catches us talking?" "No, don't worry. My wife is upstairs in the bedroom. It's far from here, the house is very big." "Okay, mister, I understand, but I have to leave you now, because I have a lot of people to deliver." "Okay, my dear. But please, before you leave, give me your number." "Mister, I don't want to have problems with your wife." "No, don't worry about that, I'll handle the situation. And you can call me Daniel, stop calling me mister." "Okay, Mr. Daniel," Kristine replied, smiling. Kristine, the pizza delivery girl, gave Daniel her phone number because, after talking to him for a few minutes, she realized he was a good man. 2 days later, Daniel invited Kristine to a luxurious restaurant, where they got to know each other well, laughing about everything and nothing. It had been a long time since Daniel had such a fun and enjoyable conversation with a woman. After dinner, Daniel took Kristine to relax at a ranch, where Daniel is a member. Daniel taught Kristine how to ride horses. His first lesson wasn't that bad. They had so much fun and really bonded, to the point where the two lovebirds kissed. Naturally, with all the pleasure in the world. Both had butterflies in their stomachs. They already saw themselves as a solid couple, full of love. Later that evening, Daniel walked Kristine home. "Welcome to my modest home, Daniel. Your house is beautiful and very tidy. Kristine, you really have good taste. Your furniture is very beautiful. Thank you, Daniel, that's very kind. Kristine invited Daniel to stay and eat some pancakes, which she made in the morning, before leaving the house. Daniel found the pancakes very delicious, and ate a very large quantity with appetite. After digesting, Daniel threw himself on Kristine, because he wanted her so much that he could no longer hold back. Kristine also wanted it very much, especially since she was single, and it had been almost a year since she had done it. The two lovers went to seventh heaven, without stopping. It was the first time that Daniel had had so much fun with a woman. He couldn't believe how incredible Kristine was. Daniel spent the night at Kristine's, and didn't even notice the time passing. My love Kristine, you are so incredible. I spent the most beautiful night of my life, in your arms. Thank you, darling, me too. You are very adorable, Daniel. I want you to be mine, and only mine, my love Kristine. It all depends on you, darling. As you see, I'm single, and I live alone. Okay, baby. I understand. Daniel replied. When Daniel arrived home, his wife Precilia started yelling at him because it was the first time Daniel had spent the night outside, without going to a wedding ceremony, or anything like that. Daniel, where did you sleep? And you didn't answer my calls all night. What does that mean? You're cheating on me with other women, is that it? Listen to me very carefully, Precilia. I don't have to answer you. I sleep where I want, and when I want. Do you consider me your husband? No. Not everything. So don't you ever ask me for explanations again, in case I spend the night outside. Precilia was really shocked, and stunned to hear her husband tell her a truth she would never have imagined. She really felt the situation getting out of hand. After 7 months of relationship, full of love and pure happiness, Daniel proposed to Kristine. They got married in a beautiful and luxurious ceremony that cost more than $900,000. All of their respective family members were present at the wedding. The two lovers were on cloud nine. It was the most beautiful day of their lives. Daniel gave his wife Kristine a magnificent 5-bedroom villa as a wedding present, worth over $2 million. As well as 2 luxury cars, a Mercedes G-Class, and a magnificent Lamborghini. Daniel now spent more time with Kristine, in their magnificent villa. He didn't want to hear anything about Precilia, his first wife. He had kept her at home, because he knew she had nowhere to go. And that she didn't even have $1 in savings to rent an apartment. Precilia was an irresponsible woman, who always wasted all the money Daniel gave her to open a business, go shopping, and travel on a private jet. Now Daniel didn't give her any more money. He just gave her a roof over her head, and food to eat. But Precilia had gone completely crazy when she saw that Daniel wasn't talking to her anymore, and that he spent all his time at his second wife Kristine's house. So she was thinking about how she could get revenge. And one day, in the morning while Daniel was at work, Precilia cajoled the security guards into letting her into Kristine's villa. Witch that you are. They told me that your father is a great witch doctor. And I know that it is he who bewitched my husband, so that he no longer loves me. And that he marries you, but know that your fetishes will end, sooner or later. And my husband will come back to me, because he loves me naturally. I am sure that this child, that you are carrying in your womb, is not even my husband's. I know that you are cheating on my husband with several men. Precilia, are you crazy? You dare come to my house to insult me? Besides, how did you manage to get in here? You call me a witch, you are the real witch. And my father is not a witch doctor. He's already been dead for over 8 years, and now you're insulting his memory. And you're insulting the baby I'm expecting, saying it's not my husband's child. You're the one who fetishized Daniel, to take advantage of his billions. Wasting them on expensive trips. You were even unable to open a business, with all that money you've squandered. You're such a stupid girl. Precilia slapped Kristine, because she called her a stupid girl. Precilia started hitting Kristine, despite her condition. Kristine defended herself as best she could, protecting her stomach. The security guards were alerted by the shouting, and the commotion in the house. When they arrived, Precilia ran away. Kristine was out of breath, and crying. The security guards called Daniel, to inform him of what was happening at home. When he arrived, Daniel was outraged, and shocked to see the state his wife Kristine was in. And even more so when he learned that Precilia had hit him. This Precilia is really crazy. How can she behave like this towards a pregnant woman? She's going to regret it. Then he started yelling at the security guards. Why did you let this crazy woman into this house? Are you normal? So you let people in here without our permission? Listen to me carefully, you're fired. I don't want to see you here anymore. You're just good for nothing. After taking Kristine to a clinic, to reassure herself that she and the baby were okay, Daniel went to his second home to confront Precilia. You're crazy. How dare you hit my wife? Knowing the state she's in. Listen, I've been too patient with you. Know that I let you live in my house, out of pity. Because I know you're a poor girl. With no money, and nowhere to go. But sooner or later, I was bound to ask for a divorce. And throw you out. Thank you, for pushing me to the limit today by acting like this. Now take your suitcases, and get out of my house right now. Daniel put Precilia's suitcases outside, because she didn't want to leave the house. Despite this, she still didn't want to leave the house, and wanted to fight with Daniel. To stay in the house by force. But Daniel called the police, and explained to them what she had done to Kristine. Precilia was arrested by the police, and thrown out onto the street, with her suitcases. Precilia couldn't believe that her husband, Daniel, had thrown her out onto the street. Snatching all the luxury cars he'd given her. Precilia was now on the street, without $1 in her pocket. She really saw her life flash before her. She went from a life of luxury, to homelessness, in a split second. Precilia didn't know where to go. She had to walk more than 20 kilometers. To return to live in her parents' house, in the slum neighborhood. Where she was born and raised. All her relatives, and her childhood friends from the neighborhood, whom she despised on social media, because she lived in absolute luxury, took their revenge, by making fun of her. My God, so a billionaire, could come back to live in our rotten neighborhood. It's incredible how many surprises, life has in store for us. Precilia was so ashamed, she just wanted to dig the ground to hide, but it was impossible. Daniel has finally filed for divorce, from Precilia. He now lives happily, with the true love of his life, Kristine. She gave birth to a beautiful, healthy baby boy, whom they named Brian. Daniel moved into the villa he gave Kristine. And so the villa he lived in with Precilia. Because that house brought back nothing but bad memories. But all that is in the past, because Kristine and her son Brian fill him with so much love. Kristine opened her own home delivery company. And 2 pizza restaurants. Daniel is very proud of herself, because Kristine is a true fighter, an entrepreneur. What do you think of this story? Let us know in the comments. Subscribe so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos, and give us a like to encourage us.